Wednesday night, again, the third annual. And it was at that show that all the comedians came out and they all volunteered their time like they always do. And the first year we did it, I thought, hey, let's do this great little thing, keep my brother's memory alive, and we'll do a comedy show, because my brother loved comedy. And I'm kind of hooked up to some comedy with, I used to host it, or I still do host an improv show with the great Atomic Improv, and way back in the day, that's what sort of got me in, and then kind of morphed into kind of being a, opening for Andrew Gross.
Right.
I'm kind of his opener, right? He's the guy that forced me into being a stand-up, because he, just sort of booked me as his opener.
Into it, yeah.
Absolutely, but the whole point is that, backstage at the show in Sherwood Park 3 years ago, I was talking to the comics, and they're all sort of saying like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing this summer?" And it's like, "Oh, I'm going to the Winnipeg Comedy Festival." I'm, "Oh, I'm going to Just for Laughs again," and Andrew's been there 8 times, and everybody in that room was going to another city's comedy festival. And I kind of thought to myself, like, why is all these other like every city has a comedy festival? We've got great comedians. We're Festival City,
yes.
Right? And so. I ran into the mayor and just kind of mentioned that he loves comedy, just kind of mentioned that sort of thing, and said, we should start a comedy festival. He said, "You want to start a comedy festival? I'll see you in my office," and sort of got the ball rolling because he really wanted one and sort of recruited. So that sort of out of that little charity show kind of morphed into the Edmonton Comedy Festival, and last year we got it up and running, and a lot of those guys at that show, if not all of them, were in the Comedy Festival last year, plus great North American headliners, and the feedback was great. I mean, everybody, it's kind of that universal thing, and no disrespect to other festivals, but oftentimes there's a couple things. I mean, the Comedy Festival, everybody, I think it's a universal ticket to sell, right? Do you want to come to a comedy show? Sometimes, if you said, "Do you want to come to a rock show or a country show or jazz?" Well, people go, "Well, I'm not really into country or jazz or rock or whatever," right? You say comedy, how many people would be like, "No,
I don't like to laugh.
Don't like to laugh, so I'm gonna have to stay at home," right? No, and you hear that time and time again, and maybe just the way our lives are and everything, are people like, "I need a good laugh," and you come out. Like they say, laughter is the best medicine, but it's truly not. I think antibiotics and other stuff is very helpful as well. If you're very, if you got something, don't just say, "I'm going to go to a comedy show." But it does mentally, it does really help you to go, and people come away and be like, "Oh, I needed that." The comedy show we did at Sherwood Park on Wednesday, I mean, it was just in the lobby afterwards, it was just almost like people were just like, "Thank you so much." And, it was such a, for them, for me, I was in the back drinking beer and then hanging out. But for them, I needed that too. And hanging out with comics, there's nothing funny about hanging out with a room full of comics. There's something always a little bit different with these guys. But honestly, so that comedy festival, that it's going. We're its second year, and
awesome.
So
630 Ched, 630ched.com has all the details. Tickets are now available. Get them. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to Hugh Campbell now. So we've talked kind of about your career. Started in Regina as a football player, then to get you back as the general manager of the Eskimos. You have many, many great years of that, and now you're happily retired and spending time with your beautiful wife, who you overmarried. You know what you did? You outkicked your coverage.
That's right.
Would you agree with that?
Oh, no question about it. She holds everything together and raised 4 great kids. And
yes, she did.
And Louise is just an outstanding citizen. She has done a good job while she was here in Edmonton as far as raising money for charity in the community, well over $1 million. And she was the chairman of the board of the Glen Rose Hospital, and so she left her mark here too.
I love seeing
gluey hands, eh? Once he got his hands on her, bam, that was it. That's a good catch. That's probably his best catch, I'm guessing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I love seeing both of you guys when you come to the occasional game, when you come up, usually once a year or twice a year you come for a game, and then you get a chance to watch your son who's coaching in Calgary now. You're going to be doing that as well, right?
That's true. Yeah.
You got to wrap your brain around your son coaching in Calgary.
I know that's a little difficult. John Huffnagel's a really good guy for him to be working with, and he loves the staff there with Dave Dickinson and the rest, and he's having the time of his life. He just really enjoys it, and being an assistant coach with a good responsibility is really the best job in Canadian football. You get to do what you're actually trying to do.
Yeah. Coach
players to play good football.
Awesome. Well, you said your wife Louise is a great citizen, and that leads me to my next subject. I don't think Graham even knows about this, but tell us what your family did on July 1st here in Edmonton.
Well, we did a officially become Canadian citizens. We had, you know, all through the years, it really